So names of parties, designations of parties, whatever is the case number, ICC members, names and designations. Then what is the date of receipt of complaint, because we all know it's a 3 months, 90 days time bound process. And what is the submission of your inquiry report, which date you are submitting the report. Okay, then this is how it will look like. So you will have statement of the parties and the witnesses. Okay, now here information provided by both the parties should be included. You have to mention the nature of allegations, the contents of the complaint, how will the complaint fall under the purview of POSH, then how was it received by the ICC from the very beginning, that X had complained to me, this was the incident described, our prima facie a case of sexual harassment was made out, then notice to accuse was sent, notice to complainant was sent, they appeared, what did they say, this was the evidence, and finally we are coming to this. Every tiny detail has to be included here. Okay, so then you give a summary of all the meetings, that you can say the ICC held meeting on 10 occasions, a summary of those meetings is given as under. Okay, or you can say it is reflected in the daily order sheet annexed, you can annex it as well. Okay, and what are the charges? Like I said, that whether a case of verbal sexual harassment is made out, whether this amounts to a criminal case, all of that you mention, whatever is the specific allegation made against that person. Okay, then very, very, very important is reasoning. Factual mentioning is easy, guys. You know that these incidents have happened, it is very easy for you to mention. Okay, I can very well write that on 5th this happened, on 8th this happened, on 10th this happened. It's basically reproduction of whatever has happened. The important part is to reason it. How do you connect that with what falls under the law, and how do you convert that into a recommendation which is given to the employer? Okay, so the reason for admitting or dismissing the charge is very important. Now, there was a judgment where it stated that, apart from having principles of natural justice to give opportunity, it is very important to have reasoning in the order. Okay, I say, if I just say that on 5th this happened, on 10th this happened, on 20th this happened, and finally we are writing this report, we think that this is Anjali's complaint is false. I have not given any reason. I have just stated the incidents and I have gone forward and I have just said that, this complaint is false. But where is the reason? I have to say that on basis of examination of the witnesses, we have found out that her allegation against an ex-employee is not proved because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reasons. Therefore, we are concluding this. So anytime your reasoning is, it's capricious in nature, it's arbitrary, or it's unfounded, it's baseless, all of these things will, quash your inquiry report later. Make sure that you're giving appropriate reasons for whatever your action you are taking. Okay, I can't just declare that tomorrow is going to be a holiday. I will give you a reason that tomorrow is holy, therefore you will have a holiday. Reasoning with the passing of an order is very important. Okay, and once you have given proper reasons, you conclude that okay, we have arrived at so and so, now this will be the recommendation. We recommend the employer that you have to take X action. This person should be immediately terminated because of a case of grave sexual harassment. Okay, so this is how your now there can be 3 things that you will recommend. Okay, so ICC will either come to the following conclusions. First scenario will be that the charges are proved and complaint has merit. In this case, you have to conclude your report and say that action against, whatever action you want to take against the respondent. Let's say the respondent should immediately be terminated. Scenario 2 can be that charges are not proved. Okay, and in this case, you can say that no further action is taken. Okay, and last can be that the charges are not proved and it is discovered that complaint itself is malicious. Okay, so don't get confused between scenario 2 and scenario 3. In scenario 2, there is a proper complaint, although proof is not there, and we have, concluded that this respondent has not done sexual harassment according to whatever has been presented to us. However, in your scenario 3, you find out that complaint itself is malicious. So here action against the complainant in whatever format in rule 9 and 10 has been given, that will be taken. Okay, so don't get confused between 2 and 3. First is complaint is proved. Second is complaint is not proved. Third is complaint is malicious. Okay. Then what can be the types of punishments? So like I just took you through the act. It can be a punishment prescribed under service rules. So if there are a service rules prescribed, they will be according to the service rules. Then if you do not have service rules, what does the act say? That you can ask the respondent to give a written apology, warning, reprimand, censure. You can withhold the promotion, you can withhold the pay rise, you can terminate them from service, you can tell them to undergo counseling, and you can carry out community service. All these actions, I believe all of you are already aware of, correct? Then like we just discussed, you can ask the respondent to pay a certain sum of compensation also from the wages of the respondent. Even that can be done. And if the respondent is not paying, you can directly ask the respondent to pay a sum of compensation. Okay? So these are the kinds of punishment that will happen. In the end of your inquiry report, you need to have signatures. So you need to get this signed by the chairperson and whoever is the part of the investigation, whichever ICC members was present throughout. At the end of the report, the name of the chairpersons and members should be written down clearly, and you have to sign that we are the members who are giving this report to the employer. Once you have prepared this report, you submit it to the employer. Okay. So you will do it within a period of 10 days. You will serve copies of the report to both parties. And as soon as the report is submitted, the management will take action, and whatever the action is, the management will follow this. Okay. This happens in disciplinary proceedings also and in POSH also. So you can take a reference of this. Okay. So you are basically introducing whoever has been appointed on so and so date, whoever is your inquiry officer. Basically here it will be ICC members. Okay. You write down their details. Then you start off that how your inquiry has commenced. Okay. So on which date you received the complaint, when did you acknowledge it, then when did you send out a notice to the accused, the complainant. All of these things will come here in your introduction. Okay. Then what were the charges? Then you have to say that you have examined whichever documents that you have examined. You have to mention them in a box. It's not a fixed format. This is a general format. You may choose to, the chronology will more or less be the same, but ideally is the introduction mentioning of all the dates, all the documents that you have examined. So here you will put out a table that I have examined document X. This was a WhatsApp screenshot. I have exhibited as exhibit 1. Okay. Then whatever is the date and whatever is the description, you put that into a table. Okay. After that, you say that whatever was the statement by the witnesses. You mention the statements of the witnesses. So I have examined complainant witness number 1. Complainant witness 1 has said so and so things. You can, as it is, reproduce the statements. So Saugat has said, I am working as a general manager under XX organization. I was appointed on so and so date. I got into interaction with X girl on so and so date, and so things happen. Whatever is his statement, you can reproduce it as it is. Okay. All the statements you put in here. After that, so here you can see that in the format, all the statements of witnesses are examined. Here's statement of so and so person. Then finally, when you have put out all the statements, what is your evaluation of the evidence? Okay. And what are your findings? Okay. You have introduced them. You have given out the statements of witnesses. Now you have also told what are the documents that you have examined. Now what is your evaluation? You will mention here. Okay. So you will mention the issues. For example, here there was disobedience of orders, there was dharna. This is a general inquiry report, but this is how you have to do it. Okay. Whatever is the issue. So here you can say whether a case for verbal sexual harassment is made out, whether an offense under criminal case is made out or not. All of these issues you will mention here. Then you will say in your language. Now you will start in writing in your own words that MW1 stated so and so, MW2 stated so and so, then CW stated so and so. All this will be your evaluation. Okay. Earlier you were doing a reproduction of the statements. Now on examination and evaluation of the statements, what do you think? You will mention. Okay. You will mention the whole thing here, and finally you will conclude that in conclusion, I think so and so is the report, and you will recommend an action to be taken against the employer. So taken against the accused or the complainant as the case may be, and you will give it to the employer. Okay. And lastly, you will have the signatures of parties, which are the ICC members, whoever are writing the report.